Patnode and Kurth are a team that we've seen together before when we were in Somerset. Those guys, I do not believe were able to make top 8 at that tournament, but they're vying for competition here. But they've got to get through 3 pretty good decks, because I know you weren't here with this last match, but most of our viewers were. And Curtis Shu, Gerard, Fabiano, and Eric Smith, they've got some decks.
I heard rumors that Swatkin's deck, the mono black one, which I thought possibly couldn't be beaten, was finally defeated and in style by Gerard Fabiano.
Gerard did not have much of a problem. Abhorrent Overlord is a good Magic card. Really good.
It is very good.
And it dusted him up really good, is what it did.
All right.
So it looks like we're underway already. You see Fabiano again, he's black-blue. Patnode's deck, he's blue-green with a little bit of a black splash. Black splash for Lash of the Whip and Reaper of the Wilds. And a Farika Mender too, so his deck looks pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds like this has a lot of value in it. Those of you just joining, as I am with Gerard's deck. Gerard's deck is seems to be full of a lot of strength in the uncommons and rare slots. He has double Rescue from the Underworld with Keepsake Gorgon, Hythonia the Cruel, and Abhorrent Overlord.
Now, Patnode's deck, again, it's a pretty good blue-green deck. He does have a Thassa, God of the Sea, 2 copies of Thassa's Bounty, does have a Horizon Scholar, a Curse of the Swine. He's got some pretty nice cards in his deck.
So Gerard there on turn 3 played Mogus Marauder, and he did not attack with it and give it haste and intimidate. Instead, he left it back to block Agent of Horizons. Nick Patnode actually did not make it unblockable, so Gerard was able to let that trade happen. He's going to have to find some way to trade with this next Agent of Horizons, and I'm not sure Nick's going to let this trade happen. He may activate.
See Omen Speaker in there for Nick right now, too, so he already got his scrying over with a couple turns ago. So he's passed those cards, and we'll see what he can find here. He's going to come in with both.
Yeah, he actually offers the second Agent of Horizons, this time just for Cavern Lampad. Follows it up with Thassa's Emissary.
So the Emissary's here, threatening to draw some cards. See if Fabiano does have a removal spell or a blocker to put in front of that bad boy.
Yeah, this seems to be going in Gerard's direction. It was interesting. Patnode had a really aggressive start, and what I thought was a pretty good start. He's trading off his creatures very quickly. And basically turning Gerard's low drops into additional kill spells, which when that happens in a game, that will favor the deck with like the better haymakers. And to me, it seems very difficult that Nick will be able to out haymaker Gerard.
Well, Gerard is going to take 4 damage right on the chin here, so Patnode's going to get to draw a card. Doesn't look like Fabiano has much to do. He's going to tap 5 mana, and he's going to play the Prophet of Krupix, excuse me, and he's going to untap everything. So the Teferi Seedborn Muse is here. And that's a very scary card to play against.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention Gerard had no answer to deal with that Emissary. All right.
This one, I think, was worth reading, you would agree?
Yeah, this is Hythonia the Cruel. This card is amazing. It probably, if there is an answer to it, we'll see Patnode play one. If he doesn't have, he's going to flash on this Prescient Chimera. And maybe, it looks like try to swing past it. That's dangerous because... Yeah. Gerard is 2 lands away from Plague Winding with this Gorgon.
Well, here's 4 mana from Patnode, so he is still aggressive.
Oh, and this is why this card shines. This is Curse of the Swine.
That's actually really, really good. So this is the Exile X target creatures. You can target your own and one of theirs, which is pretty unique. So he's going to target his own Omen Speaker and Gerard's Gorgon. Going to get 2/2s on each side and then keep turning sideways. So Curse of the Swine looking very good right now.
Yeah, Curse of the Swine is one of those cards that, like I said, originally didn't look all that impressive, but as we've seen it being played, it's this generic answer to any creature, and there are a lot of creatures, especially in Sealed, that really need answering. We obviously just saw one there.
Yeah, Hythonia definitely needs answering. You just see Fabiano's just going to put the old boar token in front.
We should actually stop the game, pause the game here, and make sure that Hythonia was exiled. It's exiled part of Curse of the Swine. As Gerard's playing black, that may be pretty relevant.
Sure, we'll make sure. We will radio to our spotter, make sure that is exiled. That is actually super important.
Yeah, black has Gerard, we know, has 2 Rescue from the Underworlds just in his deck alone. So make sure that, unfortunately, Hythonia cannot be, there we go, cannot be rescued.
It is taken care of now. Making Curse of the Swine even better, since it exiles and doesn't destroy.
Yeah, no, the card has been very impressive. And you see a huge amount of power on Patnode's side of the table. He has 3 from the Emissary, 2 from the Boar, 3 more from the Chimera.
He could play something else, too.
Yeah, and he's beginning to draw all these extra cards. He's connected now. That time the Emissary got chomped.
As we see the updates here, Smith and Sheu are already up a game here against Walter and Kurth. But Patnode's going to keep the pressure on. Plays a Centaur Battlemaster. And yeah, Fabiano's just going to concede.
All right, all 3 games lightning speed here. 5 minutes in, we finished all our game ones. Okay, I want to run down quick on the matchups we have across the board. So you have Gerard Fabiano's black, mostly black, somewhat blue deck. He's playing against Nick Patnode, who's it looks like he's playing just kind of like a blue-green good stuff.
Yeah, again, small splash for black for Lash of the Whip. Lash of the Whip, Reaper of the Wilds, and he has a Farika's Mender as well. So those are your small black splashes.
Okay. We have Royce Walter versus Curtis Shu. Curtis Shu is up a game. He is running a blue-green deck. It is pretty much even between blue and green. It's kind of like that good stuff deck again. It's basically got a lot of heavy hitters. It's a lot of heavy hitters, 2 Nimbus Naiads, and double Prophet of Kurth.
Yeah, which is a terrifying card. Royce Walter, he is base black, 10 swamps, 7 plains, Gray Merchant check, just 1. It's kind of like a white-black good stuff deck. He does have an Abhorrent Overlord in his deck. Checking for any more big bombs. 3 copies of Farika's Cure.
3 Farika's Cure, 3 Sip of Hemlock.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of removal.
He's killing everything. Which actually
2 Divine Verdicts, too.
Whew. And then the third game, which we're going to go to over here, the question is, where were the red decks? Well, they are both here. On Lloyd Kurth's side,
Lloyd is blue-red. He's got 2 Coordinated Assaults, 2 Arena Athletes. Looks like he's got 3 Crackling Triton, 2 Vapor Cans, 2 Wave Crash Tritons as well. So he's a very, very aggressive deck, taking the heroic approach.
All right, and then Eric Smith is playing. He was originally a red-white deck. He has now looks like he's boarded in green. I'm not sure what for. He does not have any green cards. Well, that's white. Okay, he's red-white. Sorry, he's still red-white. I thought that was a forest. Yeah, he's a red-white deck. Double Phalanx Leader. He's a heroic deck.
He's a heroic deck, and he has an Elspeth, which is the scary part, because we saw the Elspeth the last round be able to take not one, but both of his games. So the nice thing about his red-white deck is that most red-white decks don't have a lot of staying power, but if he does get to the late game, just a Planeswalker.
Yeah, just a Planeswalker.
Yeah, I'm being modest.
But for this game, we've seen a really quick start from Lloyd Kurth. He dropped Derek down to 16 and still kind of trying to keep pressure on him. He's got his Minotaur Skullcracker and then even had a Voyage End there.
So another Minotaur. I don't think so. Lightning Strike's going to take care of the enhanced one.
It's a second Lightning Strike from Smith. He has just 2.
Yeah, I mean, Smith's deck is very, very strong. Currently, he's without the white mana, and you see he's going to play the 2/2 First Striker, Spirit Point Oread, and pass the turn back, as Kurth is drawing a lot of islands and not enough mountains, it looks like.
This is the classic land screw versus land flood situation. It really favors the land screw player. All it takes is 1 or maybe 2 lands from Eric Smith, and suddenly his whole hand is just all business. Whereas for Lloyd to get an equal amount of business, he has to just top deck spells for the rest of the game.
So Smith is going to get out from underneath this. Right now, though, he's sitting at 14 life and has a good defense for what's being presented on the board. And as you mentioned, Kurth is just drawing a lot of lands, has another one in his hand.
Yeah, he has a Griptide in his hand as well. You almost think you'd want to Griptide the Oread. He has the Griptide and Spark Jolts, so not much he can do. He could Griptide it and then maybe hope to draw another threat. But he has no game right now, and things are not going to get better as Eric starts to gain a foothold on the board.
Yeah, there's a 4th land. And there is the Wingsteed Rider. So now he's got a 2/2 flyer on the battlefield. Nothing really worth Griptiding right now either. The Griptide, this is one of the poorer uses for Griptide where we're currently at right now.
Yeah, it's great when you're ahead for gaining tempo. When you're behind, I mean, it still can, blow out. It's still be a good combat trick, so it never is bad, but it certainly is weaker right now.
Kurth's going to offer up the trade. Smith doesn't take it. Of course, Kurth could have some sort of combat trick. He's going to play an island past the turn back. He has another island in his hand. Smith's going to come into the red zone with the Rider. Going to knock Kurth down to 18. And he's just going to play the 2/2 First Striker again, past the turn back.
Yeah, Spirit Point Oread doing a really good job of keeping Minotaur Skullcracker at bay. Skull Cleaver at bay. Skull Messer Upper.
Yeah, Kurth. All right. So just going to fire that off.
I like this line. 1 damage to Smith. That seems so weak right now, but he knows how bad things can
Yeah, he has no action, and he needs it, and he's going to keep the top card of his deck, which means that he found some sort of action.
Yep, it is Ordeal of Perforos. This is the first time we've seen an Ordeal get played. I'm really happy to see this. Lloyd, yeah, so This is probably Ordeal Purpose is probably the best ordeal. Unfortunately for Lloyd, he's going to get blown out here by Coordinated Assault.
Yeah, Coordinated Assault absolutely destroys everything there. First strike taking over. Lloyd Kurth gets 2 for 1. And now Eric Smith is in the driver's seat because, again, we know that Kurth just has an island in his hand.
Yeah, and Smith has a really straightforward play here. Well, he could have played Observant Al Sayed, enchanting the Wingsteed Rider. So he has better plays than that even. He's going to go ahead. I can't see it past the
He plays
on
a
here.
Stone Shock Giant.
Thank you.
Yep.
That guy's double red, isn't he? Oh, the red's. There's a mountain hiding on the plane.
Among the planes, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was 4 and 1, but it's 3 and 2.
Either way, it's no longer alive, as Rage Porphyros is going to take care of that.
Yeah, but here we go. It's Observant Al Sayed on Wingsteed Rider, making it a 6/6 Flying Vigilance.
Yikes. That's going to be really, really difficult for Kurth's deck to be able to deal with. Even if he does, it means that Smith is going to at least get left over with a 2/2 Vigilance in play.
I'm not sure what card will help him here. It seems like he just can't deal with this. He has an Ill-Tempered Ogre, but he has all he's waiting for his opponent to say attack.
Yeah.
With the flyer, and then that's game.
You see him holding onto an island, trying to bluff a Voyage's End. I think Smith may consult the teammates here.
He draws the Dauntless Onslaught as well.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Kill your blocker, just to be sure.
Scry to the bottom, attack with both, and that is gonna
Island
do it. So Eric Smith is going to defeat Lloyd Kurth in 2 very, very fast games to give his team up a match. As we go to we might go to Patnode versus Fabiano, Sheu versus Walter. Not sure where we're going to move next, but either way, Sheu, Fabiano, and Smith up 1 right now. Yeah. Sitting pretty, too.
Battle of the red decks. Really, red-white was able to take out red-blue. Not too surprising, I would think. Just based on what the decks are trying to do, it seems to me that the red-white deck is really favored in that kind of matchup.
And Smith's deck is absolutely fantastic, too. Really, really good deck. From what I've seen from blue-red decks thus far, not really all that impressive either. I mean, Kurth is a very good player, but I mean, those decks, the synergies don't really feel there.
I don't have the data to back it up, but I feel like blue-red decks have been doing dismal on camera today. We've seen aggro decks like this one, and they seem to be like the worst color combination of the aggro decks we've seen. We've also seen what I've called blue-red control, which is basically removal and chimeras, and that deck has also been underperforming.
We saw Alexander Hayne with that in round 2, and he just got ran down pretty badly by Swatkins.
He faced against a black deck, and despite the fact that he had removal and chimeras, he actually wasn't able to deal with. Like, black was better at the late game.
Yeah. So Fabiano and Patnode is what we're going to be moving to. We are on Fabiano and Patnode right now. You see a Night Howler going to come into play for Fabiano. Again, Gerard down a game.
1/1 at the moment. There's a Horizon Chimera in the graveyard, but that's actually it.
Oh, give it time.
I know what they figured. Now the question is, what if Patnode just raised dead the Chimera? That'd be sweet.
That would be awkward.
Yeah.
I had not considered
Farika's
that.
Mender getting back my guy.
Yeah?
Oh, that'd be pretty good here, right? Farika's Mender, needs more value attachment. Matches 2 it needs to be a 3-for-1.
See what Patnode's going to come up with here. Again, he even has the black mana, as you mentioned, for the Mender, which I don't think he has at this point.
And we see Horizon Scholar.
Scry 2. I think he doesn't like it. I mean, at least the land he probably doesn't like.
And Opaline Unicorn were the 2 cards.
Ooh, he's going to keep 1. Probably going to keep the land.
I mean, it can't be the Unicorn. It's got to be the land. If he has some monstrosity cards in his hand, that seems reasonable. Gerard's Return Phalanx is doing a great job of gumming up the ground right now. What's unfortunate for Gerard is that the ground isn't where the threat is.
Yeah, the skies are where he needs to be. He's going to give this, he's going to make it so that Phalanx can attack. Pay 2 mana, remove the defender.
We should note it looks like this game that Patnode's in a commanding lead. I guess we should point out that Patnode is down to 11. It looks like Gerard's made a lot of progress with those Return Phalanxes. He also has Bargain Gainsay, which was used to counter the Horizon Chimera.
Gotta love those self-hate card cycle that they put in. I really like a lot. Dark Betrayal, Gainsay. I like all the cycle here.
Yeah, I particularly am excited about Glare of Heresy.
Likewise.
Not so much about Hunt the Hunter.
It's kind of meh.
Well, I mean, these are cards that can see playing constructed, and that's one that probably wins.
But it can kill Tarmogoyf.
Yes.
With your own Tarmogoyf.
Yes, it can. Always.
Had you considered that?
I had not.
That's the one I get a lot.
Just like Death Mark the Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, I would much rather do that, yes. There are cleaner answers. You're correct.
Swords. I don't know.
Hey, easy. That's way too good. That's way too good.
That's a lot of life.
Take a look at the top.
Bam. Well, it does not seem to matter here where this game is going.
These guys did not mess around at all. Team Fabiano has won this match. Curtis Shu, Eric Smith, Gerard Fabiano, Sheu and
14
Smith.
minutes in.
Yeah, they did not waste any time in dispatching Walter, Patnode, and Kurth at all. And again, if you guys saw the last match, and then this one, and second gainsay here from Fabiano,
Shipbreaker Kraken.
their decks are great. They have great decks.
I mean, I like just the play speed of this match has been fabulous. If you've been noticing, we're probably breaking a record here for words per minute on air. I just want to say, 'cause following these matches was, whoa, okay, about 7 things happened in the last 10 seconds. It's kind of undefenders guys, swinging them all in.
It's got black up. What's going on here?
Freaka's Cures, Travel. It's not actually a cure.
All right, yep, there's a cure to take care of.
Actually, no, it's not actually a cure.
Are you sure?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Freaka's lying.
Yeah, Night Howler. This is a 2/2 because he gainsay on the
yep.
on the Shipbreak Kraken.
Now it's a 4/4.
Yep. I told you to get bigger, but you agreed with me, so we have nothing to argue about.
Yep. Did. It got. I still thought the Freaka's Mender would have been a really sweet play.
Yeah, that would have
One
been
of those,
awesome.
Whoa, what? Like one of those things where I'd look at my opponent and be like, what would be the worst card for me to play right now? Can you figure it out?
And then we go, I don't know.
I'd be like, this. And then you'd be like, oh god.
Like, are they like Spark Jolt? It's like, no, way worse.
Worse.
Way worse. So it's time to feed.
He feeds on the return Phalanx, gains 3 off the horizon. Scholar.
Night Howler gets bigger.
Did Gerard just point out that his Howler got bigger?
I think he did.
He doesn't have to do that.
I know he doesn't, but he's a nice guy.
That's very sportsmanlike. Almost to the point where I'm not sure. I mean, all right. Right. Correctly notes he should pre-combat Sip of Hemlock.
Nope, make his guy bigger.
6/6.
Omen Speaker, do you have any interest?
And swinging is that, yeah, well, I mean, he better. Patnode's down to 3,
Yeah.
so I think Omen Speaker's interested in a chump block.
Yep, and there it goes. And Night Howler a little bit bigger as Patnode's going to untap. He's going to draw.
He has Thassa's Bounty. That's not very helpful right now. There's this humongous rat. It's a rat, I believe. Yeah, rat in play.
Tapping mana.
All right.
6
He's
of it.
Leaving up 2 blue. Milling who?
Draw 3 cards, mill
Gerard.
3.
Oh gosh, that's a Freaka's Cure, a Disciple of Phoenix, a Swamp. Now the Night Howler's even bigger.
And
He cursed the swines the Night
wow,
Howler.
all right. I mean, that'll keep him alive, so you can't really hate it. It is exiled, so it's going to have to go. Yep, and Gerard does remove it.
Aha, his
Jeez.
own Scholar of Horizons.
All to the bottom. Yuck. No, thank
So
you.
Gerard's deck's just mono good cards. it
Yes,
looks
his
like.
deck
Okay.
is just all good cards. It's absolutely fantastic blue-black deck. And Patnode is going to concede the game. So Fabiano's going to even it up. We'll see if they're going to end up playing the third and final game or not. I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't, so that they can get a little break. But
It's probably the kind of player who, if his opponent asks to play it, will play it.
yeah.
It looks like they don't see a reason.
Yep, and I think they are going to pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. So either way, Fabiano, Sheu, and Smith are going to win this match in very, very impressive fashion. A tough loss here for Kurth, Patnode, and Walter at this point in the tournament.
They were just
Losing
picking
playing
up
for
their
top
second
4.
loss.
Yep. Not the best time to do it, but